We have George from Clearwater. Hello, George.
Hi, George. How are you doing?
Hi, George.
I just have a couple of questions. Well, before anything, I know my sister, she found out I was coming tonight at Joy. She lives in Maryland. She's gone to your concert over in Riverdale. And she's on the phone. She wants to say hi. So go ahead and say hi, Natalie. Hey, Natalie. Hey, girl. Hey, girl. So she's just like, you have to put me on the phone. So sorry about that. But anyway, I have a question. I'm kind of... I just graduated from college from a Christian university. I'm kind of in between studying medicine, further studying medicine, and actually being a contemporary Christian singer. Because in the process of being in college, one of the major things that happened to me was that I became the worship leader of the university. And so the Lord opened up the door to a passion and desire that I had. And so my question is to you, I'm sure you all have had that point in your life where you say, what do you want me to do, Lord? And you know, at what point in your life did you decide for sure this is what God wants me to do, to be singers and to make a difference in the world in that way?
When we flunked out of medical school?
When I never enrolled in medical school. Have you heard of Pat's
College? That's where I dropped out of. So, for me, I would say, man, if you've got your degree or you're really close to finishing your degree, I mean, I'd finish that out for sure. Because music is a very hard road, but if God's called you to it, man, Mark quotes Charles Spurgeon all the time. You know, if you're called to be a servant, never stoop to be a king. So serve, just serve. Serve. Yeah, you can't really serve in Florida. It's not that great. Roger.
Well, your question was, when did we know? I was my father passed away when I was 19, and that's probably the time I knew that I was called into some type of ministry as a vocation. I had my best friend's dad was a pastor, and he always told us to, if you could walk away from it, do it, because the only people we need are the ones that can't walk away from it, as far as ministry is concerned, because it's not like a hobby or just a pastime. And so I really, I don't know if, obviously there's probably a lot of people in youth groups or work with youth ministry, and you have those people that surrender to the ministry or come down the aisle every weekend. And I refuse to be that person. And we come back, oh, God's called me to something. I'd always avoid it because of what he told me. I was so scared to do it and not be serious. And then when my father passed away, it was one of those things where I realized I could give up the most important thing in my life and still found myself clinging to Christ. And so that was kind of like the last step. And then I came forward and, I thought I was going to be a youth pastor, became a licensed minister and that whole thing. And which I think means I can do funerals and weddings, I think, so if everybody else.
You've done both.
And, I thought I was going to be a youth pastor for a long time, and then I got involved with a worship band during that time. And, I didn't necessarily miss calling. I think that God placed it in my heart for a season, which is something that I use greatly now, ministering to students. And so, yeah, I knew at 19 I was called to do something. And then, I guess I was at 21 or 22 when MercyMe started, I think. Something like that, and it's just, I don't know, we just knew. We kind of, our definition of a calling would be a God-given opportunity wedded with a God-given talent. And it's not rocket science, it's not that hard to figure out if you're being called. If you're open, then odds are you are. And so we sit around a lot and go, oh, am I called, am I called, am I called? And opportunities just pass by us, and people just sincerely wanting to hear the word walk right past us, and we're too consumed with, oh, is it a calling? Is this what I'm supposed to do? Just do it, for crying out loud. It's not going to break God's heart if you try to do something against the kingdom. So,
Mary?
This is Stacy. Stacy from Florida. She has a question for you.
Hi, I follow you guys on Twitter, so I see you guys post pictures, like silly pictures, on like planes, stuff like that. But recently, like, you post pictures with your family at Disney. I just want to know, like, on the road, you're part from your family and your kids and your wives, and what does God teach you through that?
what does God teach us being apart from Him? Oh, we miss Him greatly.
Yeah.
You want to?
Sure. I think maybe it's kind of a shame to say it took us a little while to learn, but I think the older our kids have gotten, we've realized how being a husband and a father is really our first calling, and what we do as MercyMe has to be secondary to that. And so that we haven't always gotten that right, but we're certainly trying hard. The hardest part of what we do is the fact that we have to leave our families, for half the year it seems like, and we have those days when we're going to see a new movie and we call home and one kid's jumping off the house and another kid's
dragging his diaper all night in, so our wives love those days.
Yeah, there's like an account of good and bad days that we realize that when we withdraw, as like we take a good day, that automatically means my wife's gonna have a bad day. So we're on the road, we'll go like a Red Sox game, and it's like, hey, what are you at home? And she's like, I hate life. Oh, we hate baseball. That's hot dogs. Yeah, hot dogs undercooked. It's miserable.
I guess it's got to take a really special woman to be able to handle this lifestyle.
No idea. Yeah, I mean, they basically become single mothers, 4 days out of the week, and have to do everything on their own. And so, we do what we can over a cell phone to father our children and be husbands to our wives. But that's the one downside. I mean, everything about our job is great. Even, if we complain about getting up early, it's not that bad. Okay, it does stink, but but the one true downside is having to be away from it.
Yeah, we're home very little compared to most. We did spend a lot of years, but we're rarely ever gone more than about 3 or 4 days in a row. And so, I take my kids to school every week, at least part of the week, and so it is tough being gone, but it's not near what some of the sacrifices that a lot of bands are having to make, and so we're really grateful for that.
We have Daniel from Dade City.
Hi, Daniel.
Hey guys, been a fan since '96, Reality Week. First question I have is there any way to get the Pleased to Meet You CD? Because my tape wore out.
No. Please don't ever speak the name of that album.
How much money you got? I got a stack of them.
And maybe some of the Traces of Rain. I still use some of those in my car. I actually had the CD, so that one didn't wear out. And also, the second question I have is, do you miss the old days of the bus with just the plywood?
No.
Not the least bit.
Remember me sliding in that thing and going to Kmart at 2 o'clock in the morning? Jim and Mike still sticks in my mind.
Wow.
Yeah, those were the days.
You can't get the images of that bus out of your mind.
The bus he's referring to was basically a ghetto one. It was just hollow and nothing inside, and mattresses on the floor and plywood. That was it.
We had that one big sign for the Billy Graham Crusade on the wall. Billy looked down us overnight while we were sleeping.
Literally from the front to back, it was all matched.
What plays Frisbee?
You could slam on the brakes and roll from the back of the bus. And we did. Yeah. Sometimes on purpose, and sometimes during.
Those finger rockets at Jim's head.
Shoot finger rockets, man. That's safe.
Yeah. Well, it was only a 45-foot bus. So.
Yeah, those are fond memories, but no, we don't want to do that again.
And as far as finding a place to meet you at eBay, I don't know.
Half-price books.
Pawn shops.